The Trump economy is heating up, folks. All of his policies are starting to work. He's being proven right. This is very similar to Reagan in the early 80s when he got his tax cuts and deregulations. And it took 24 months to really see the turnaround. Trump's doing this on steroids because along with what he's doing with the tax cuts, deregulating, he's added on top of that the energy flow that we've never seen before. As long as, along with a couple other things as well, like the trade deals, et cetera, et cetera. And now we're starting to see, it's been not even 12 months since the One Big Beautiful Bill, and it's already coming along. Listen to this.
All right, personal income for the month of May, almost twice expectations, comes out up 0.7, strongest number since January of 24, equals where we were about a year ago in July. If we look at spending, similar scenario, up 0.7, better than expected, but we were looking for 0.6, so not quite double like we were on income. 0.7 would be the best going back to, well, it equals where we were in February. And if you look at the March number, it was up 1%. So that is your kind of cluster there.
All right. The big one here is income. Did you guys hear what he said? I've been telling you guys this. We've been seeing the signs. Manufacturing up here, goods orders up here. The signs were that the economy was starting to heat up. Income is always the lagger because the companies start first. They invest, they start seeing profits, and then they pay people more. The incomes are starting to rise, and the big tell is double expectations. That's massive, folks. Double is huge. And not only that, we just got GDP for Q1 significantly higher than expected.
Finally, with GDP here, for the final read of Q1 GDP, we came in at 2.1%. Now, the estimate was 1.6%. Remember, we got that big surprise on the last reading to the downside. Well, the number has gone back up. Now we are at 2.1% for first quarter GDP. Finally, with GDP.
That's a 25% increase over expectations. 25%. That's huge. Massive. Double income expectations, 25% higher GDP. Why were the expectations so low? Because these people don't want to believe that Trump is doing what's right for the country. They don't like that he's breaking the system. They want us all scared. So they throw out all these nonsense numbers because first of all, part of it is too, they don't understand. They're like, this is not what you do. You're just supposed to spend more money. But that's not what's happening. Trump is being proven right. And it's not just that. Durable goods orders were expected to be 4.5% down, or expected to be 5% down. They were only 4.5% down. Durable goods transports, 1.3%. Expected 0.6%. That's a double. Cap goods, new orders, 1.6% versus 0.6%. This is the kind of stuff that means we are growing. The businesses are growing. And then inflation came in some areas lower than expectations. 0.4% month over month, expected 0.5. Core as expected, PCE, also year over year as expected. Now here's the deal. This will go down with oil going down. This is the last print from May that had the oil prices higher, energy prices higher. As that starts going down, this inflation, which accounts for oil energy prices, will start to plummet as well. Now what they're saying is, oh, this means they're going to have to raise rates. No, it doesn't. Once the energy goes down, this will plummet and we won't have to raise rates. In fact, Warsh is very likely to cut rates, and that's only going to make the economy even hotter. So get ready, folks. It's working. Trump's plans are working. Here's the income numbers, 0.7 versus 0.4. Personal spending up and real personal spending up as well. So all the numbers show the people are doing better. You personally might not be doing better yet. I understand that, especially if you're in a blue state. But the trend is nationwide, people are getting more money. and they're feeling fine about that money, so they're spending more. That is the sign. It doesn't matter what people's emotions say in a poll. Money talks, and the money is saying people are starting to do better. Now, it's only going to improve as oil keeps going down. Secretary Chris Wright, Energy Secretary, says in the last 24 hours, 72 ships and 20 million barrels of oil have transited through the Strait of Hormuz, fully restoring the pre-conflict flows. Man. And that's with more oil. See, pre-conflict, yeah, all this was flowing from the Strait, so it's great that's back there. But here's what they're not telling you. There are more oil coming out of America now than was pre-conflict. And there's more oil coming out from the Gulf states, also through pipelines, etc., than pre-conflict, which means, oh, and Venezuela as well. So you take all that together, you have way more oil in the market now than we did pre-conflict. Thank you, Donald Trump. It was a temporary setback for a long-term gain. The world is different now post-Iran conflict because he was willing to do it. Here's Trump again saying they're going to go after the oil companies. This is going to push down gas prices quickly. So commensurate with the more oil out there, gas prices will go down. Oil currently is about $71. My friend, Bam, investor, who's also the smartest man I know when it comes to markets and all the global trading commodities, says this is what we've been talking about for months. The mainstream media has no clue what Trump has been up to vis-a-vis Venezuela and Iran. When the BRICS start talking smack about China dominating as the world's new superpower, do they actually think Trump would just play golf and admit defeat? In other words, Trump is making us the dominant center of energy in the world, the dominant dollar. All of that is just going to build our wealth. Economy. This is the beginning of a booming economy, not the end. And it doesn't matter if we have stock market correction. That's not the point, because that might happen still. The stock market is definitely overbought. So we might still have a correction here at some point, or even a crash. But just like in 87, which was a crash, the economy overall was still strong. What Trump's building is an economy for Main Street. This Main Street economy will not go backwards for a long time because what Trump is doing is so significant. We're looking, I believe, at the beginning of an economic boom for Main Street, for the real economy that could last 10, 20 years or longer, depending on if we keep the policies going. But this energy dependence and what has been pulled off is just massive. And this and Bam put this in response to a video I played yesterday, which was Bessent talking about the dollar, which I'm going to play one more time for you guys in case you missed it yesterday.
Dollar dominance is essential, and everything President Trump is doing here is, if you look, the new Venezuela is invoicing in dollars. They're coming back onto the dollar system. They've been sanctioned. They were not allowed to translate or to transact in dollars, and now the dollar is going to be the centerpiece of their trade. They were selling discounted oil to China and not getting dollars. We're seeing in the Iranian negotiations, the Iranians will be invoicing in dollars. So everything we are doing is pushing the dollar back. It's never left as the centerpiece for the global currency system, but we're reinforcing it. I would anticipate when the Russia-Ukraine conflict ends, that Russia will want to come back in the dollar system because, again, the dollar, it's our liquidity, it's our capital markets, it's the depth and breadth. Everyone wants to be here.
Did you hear what Bessent just said? You think Trump's talking with Putin, that they just already know this? It's not a guess that Russia's going to come back to the dollar? You know what that's going to do for the dollar purchasing power worldwide, guys? I mean, we have not seen how good it is to be an American yet. I'm telling you, what the Trump team is doing is massive and long lasting. Now, housing is getting interesting. So this month we just got the numbers in that Home sellers outnumber buyers by 630,000, largest gap ever recorded. People still aren't buying homes that much. Why? Because the rates are high. That is what Trump has already talked about. Interestingly enough, home prices went up last month, but the devil's in the details on that one. Home prices went up because the higher houses went up, whereas middle and lower houses continue to go down as they stay on market longer. That those very expensive houses, $1 million plus, rose the overall price, but that's not a signal of where we're at. And this is how you know it's not something to worry about long term, because we are about to hit. We have a glut of housing right now. Building is not the problem. It's getting the rates down. As Trump said yesterday in his talk, we get rates down, it's going to fix most of the housing prices. And that's what Kevin Warsh is about to do. Meanwhile, our bond rate has been going down the last few days, which also impacts interest rates. So we're getting to the point where your housing will become affordable again at some point soon. Just wait. This is all going to work itself out. Now, this is an example of what's going on financial markets. They are taking a hit worldwide. South Korea right now is in the weakest level against the dollar since the global financial crisis. That's a big deal. Why? Well, Trump is restructuring the world order financially. He's breaking the City of London financial order. That's going to have some consequences. That's going to have some collateral damage. And that's what we're watching right now. We need to pay attention to this. We need to pay attention, especially what's going on in Japan, because this might lead to a crash in our markets or a correction at some point. But because of everything else being done, that doesn't mean it's going to hurt Main Street too much. So be prepared. We're not all the way in the great stuff yet, but the trends are all in the right direction. And the fact is that Trump's policies are just being proven to work as we keep getting better and better news on the economy. So this is the beginning of this. By the midterms, it's going to be a lot better. People are going to be feeling better. Energy will be lower, and gas prices will be much lower by the midterms. I'm guessing at least even $1 lower. Guys, people are going to be feeling good. They're going to be feeling good. This whole Morning in America thing that like Reagan pulled off, Trump's about to pull off something similar. And I think Trump's policies are going to be even better long term. And but in the short term, his communication could rise and create that kind of good feeling in America that we had during the Reagan years when Reagan won 49 states in 1984. That could be us. And it won't be 49 states anymore. We're too polarized. But I think this economy keeps trending in this direction, keeps improving based on what Trump's doing. 2028 will be a win that's even bigger than what Trump won in 24. And that's what I think is coming. So buckle up, guys. All the signs are here that we're headed towards something better in the next few months. And then that's just the beginning based on these policies.